Alright guys, Papa Pepper here once again. More of 50 Days to Understanding the End Times More Accurately. Today we're on day 45, called The First Watch. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself, and make them sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And this know, that if the goodman of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched, and not suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not. Luke chapter 12, verses 37 to 40. The same reasoning that led yesterday's evil servant to conclude that Jesus had delayed his coming may also be the root of the issue here. Pre-tribulationists believe that unless they expect the Lord to come at any moment before any signs or events to come, then they are not properly watching. This is the ever-present first watch in which we live before any prophesied events, such as the abomination of desolation, occur. If this is the only watch in which we expect the Lord to return, what will happen when such events occur first? What if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch? Why would a pre-tribulational first watch believer still expect him to show up? That would go against their eschatology. If this is accurate, then the very same thing that they think is most appropriate for them doing, constantly watching for at any moment first watch return of Jesus, is the very same thing that will lead to their spiritual downfall when he doesn't appear until later. Based on what we've learned from the Olivet Discourse passages, the instruction to watch in those verses cannot mean to continually watch for an any moment return of Christ. We are to be watching for signs that show us his return is near. Just as a gardener does not first watch for fruit to appear early in the spring, but first watches the leaves, buds, flowers appear before he ever starts looking for fruit, so we must be on this issue. The return of Christ will come within a certain period of time, and if we are watchful of the signs of his coming, then we will know when his coming is close, if the good man of the house had known at what hour the thief would come. It is an unfortunate lack of reasoning that leads to the following argument, but since the argument has been raised, I will briefly expose the folly of it. I have heard pre-tribulationists claim that believing in the any moment, imminent return of Jesus is great inspiration for holy living and faithful service. After all, you could meet him at any moment if he suddenly comes back. Unfortunately, this logic is flawed. Since all of mankind has chosen to sin and is appointed to death, we all understand that our death is imminent. Though we may not always like to think of it, our death could happen at any moment. All of humanity understands this. Therefore, believers understand this as well, and they are fully convinced that they could meet the Lord at any moment through death. If we realize that there is a 100% chance we could be in the presence of the Lord at any given second through our death, how much more could this reality be increased if the rapture was imminent? There is already a 100% chance that we could meet him at any moment. This is already 100% true. So there is no room for increasing that reality. I would compare it to explaining to someone that they could be shot at any moment, and then, therefore, they should be ready for death. If the person then realizes they could have a heart attack too, does that change the fact they could die at any moment? Point. Watching for Christ coming in the first watch could prove to be disastrous if he shows up in the second or third watch. Alright guys, kind of a lot to think about, to take in. Got just a couple days left. Hopefully this is still blessing you guys. Appreciate the opportunity just to share what I believe with you about these subject matters. So, alright, pop out.